Good morning. Welcome back to Morning at NTV. My name is Malaki Vilodera. Now today, like I told you, we are big on our students who are beginning their examinations today. As for students, practical examinations. And so I do have our man on the ground, Andrew Chamagero, who is in Kololo Secondary School, ready to speak to some of the teachers. Andrew Chamagero, if you can hear me, good morning.
Yes, I can, Mala. Good morning, Mala. It's a beautiful day, and we're already here. We are having like 25 minutes to start the very first exam. That will be over practicals, and I have the class teacher of senior four,
Director of Studies.
Director of Studies,
Mr. Kajiri Samson.
Kajiri Samson.
Yes.
Give us a picture of how many students are going to do the practicals.
All the candidates we have this year, we have 628.
628.
Yes.
That's a big number. So are they all doing practicals today?
No. The ones who are going to do paper 3, they are 300. Then the rest will do the second practical paper 4 later.
Wow.
Yes.
Do we have the facilities enough to cover the 300 already?
Yeah, we have more than enough facilities in colleges. We have 6 labs. Yes, for O level, and then 3 labs for A level.
For A level.
So they are going to cover.
They're going to cover.
Yes.
Mr. Your name?
Jackson Sonko.
Jackson Sonko. You teach?
I teach biology, I teach chemistry.
Biology and chemistry.
Yes.
I'm called Wamosi Ivan,
Yes.
and I teach computer studies, ICT.
ICT. Guys, we expect have always been in ICT. But let's talk about the role of parents in this. You as the Director of Studies, do you think our parents have given enough capacity building to our students when they're getting?
No, our parents have not helped us. They just send students to school. Some of them don't have scholastic materials. Others have torn uniforms. As you know that our school has students from low-income earners. So we have a lot of challenges. Yes.
And what's the way forward? What have we done about these?
At least we have tried to call parents for meetings and we discuss these problems, but you may find that most of them don't turn up, even for meetings. So they have left us with the students, and yet in this struggle, parents have also to be partners. Yes.
I hear you. Mr. Now, you as a teacher of biology, and I understand, and chemistry, practicals, it's one of the ones we're looking today. What is the biggest challenge you're facing as a teacher?
Yeah, the biggest challenge is now, given the nature of our school, the numbers are big. For a practical session, it needs a manageable number because this is the skills attainment. So as the students try to attain these skills, they have to be in a situation where the numbers are manageable, because that makes monitoring easy during the session. They have to generate the results. You have to monitor every step that they take during the practical, and then get back to them as to how these results reach what they're supposed to conclude about the experiment.
What is the number of students doing biology per stream?
Per stream, we may have 100 students attending a session. Yes, and that is a challenge. Yes, that is challenging, and the materials, parents have disappointed us in this aspect. They don't provide scholastic materials because a practical is meant to a student to acquire skill. Now, when the skill is not acquired, at the end of it all, the student loses, and then the teacher may not achieve what you may intend to achieve.
Parents have always said, abasomesa babera busy, abasomesa tibafa kubana bafe. Is it a notion that is justified here?
No, I may not believe that. We have put in a lot of time, we put in a lot of energy, given the numbers, given the meager resources at times, because a practical, for example, goes with the materials that they use, equipment, chemicals, consumable, non-consumables, all of that.
Let's talk about the scholastic materials we're talking about. Parents should actually buy for their children. You, as someone who is in practicals, what should a parent buy to make the work of the teacher easier?
During the session, a student draws. That means you must have a pencil. A student measures to acquire that skill. You must have a ruler. A student sometimes supposed to cut a specimen. So they have to have the materials to use to cut. A student has to draw graph books. You have to plot. There are practical books specifically designed to make that work easy for the student and the teacher.
All right. Well, there you hear it. We're still having the conversation with the teachers here at Kolos Senior Secondary School. We're just 15 minutes away to start the very first exam of practicals. Let me talk to the one of IT. Good morning.
Good morning.
What is the biggest challenge you're facing as a teacher of IT?
The biggest challenge is the facilities.
Yeah.
Most times you find that the students are so many and the facilities are really few.
Yeah.
So what happens, we try to group these students and then make sure that at least each of the students can easily try to access the small facilities that we have. Yes. So I think I would also encourage the parents that where we are heading right now, computer is the order of the day, or ICT. So I would encourage that they buy these devices. We put them at home, that if these students come and do some practicals at school, they can as well go and practice at home.
When you talk of devices, please bring it firsthand, like break it down for me. Let me know the device, because technology is advancing. Someone would say it could possibly be a phone, it could be something. Break down the devices.
So basically it is a computer.
A computer.
Yes, the monitor, the keyboard, the system unit, and all the other things that come along.
Let's talk about the students. They usually love to pass. What is the biggest challenge are they facing with regards to IT?
The biggest challenge is that these students study computer here. They have the skill, but the biggest problem is the practice, because computer needs a lot of practice. And you find that once they study something here and then they go home, they cannot access these computer devices. So what happens? They forget what they studied last time. So when they come back again, yes, that is when they can touch the computers and so many. So it is a big challenge to our students here.
Director of Studies, how do we bridge this gap from the lesson someone has had today until when they come back for the lesson?
For
computer especially.
For the computer, we have a lot of challenges with the computer because, since I said, it needs practice, and parents cannot afford these computers at home at least. So they only have hands-on when they come here, and yet us, even the facilities we have here, they are not enough. You may find that one computer can be shared by 60 students.
60?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's a big number.
Yes.
So what is the way forward? How are we going to handle this as a school? Do we have particular strategies or avenues on how to address this?
Well, we thank some organizations that have been positioned to give us some computers, like a UCC, give us some computers, and also we are calling upon the government, at least also to support us in this endeavor.
To come through.
Yeah.
All right, the government has actually been called again and again. Mr., what can we do as a community to bridge this gap? Because at the end of the day, these are our children. At the end of the day, these children are going to get out in the market, and can they compete well?
Yeah, in this struggle, we're all partners.
Yeah.
And in this partnership, every one of us has a role to play. The parent has a role, the student, and then us, the teachers, who handle these learners. So if we come together and each one of us fulfilled the role that's meant to do, I think we'll be speaking the same language.
We're speaking the same language.
Yes, and we'll have this learner achieve what's meant to achieve.
All right, I have Mala in studio. She has a question for you, Mala.
I'm keen to get this view from
Mala?
the teachers. Yes, I can hear you, Andrew. I'm keen to get this view from the teachers. They've clearly said that the ratio between the students and the equipment that is available in the schools is quite large, such that we have very minimal resources when it comes to the computer labs, very few computers, very few equipment when it comes to the laboratories, but the students are many, and these numbers are growing year on year out. So with regards to their view, Do they feel like the universal secondary school education policy that was introduced by government is a curse more than a blessing?
Okay. Well, when you said one student, one computer could cater for 60 students.
Yeah, the ratio.
The ratio.
Yes.
All right. Do you feel that USE, Universal Secondary Education, is it more of a blessing or is it a curse, or have we failed it?
It's a blessing to a certain extent because as teachers we have to be innovative.
Yes.
So we find all the ways of making it a blessing, even if we are in USE school. But in Kololo, in that regard, we are USE, but a blessed school.
A blessed school.
Yeah, we have very many opportunities here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The head girl, earlier on when we were having a conversation with her, she said we have the facilities, we have the laboratories, but she mentioned that we need more. They were built back in the 70s. She was not even sure quite about it. What's your comment about
Yes, we have the laboratories, they're there, and they have the facilities, but they are not enough. Yes, that is the biggest problem. The computers are there, they are in good condition, but the numbers are overwhelming.
The numbers are overwhelming.
Yes. So I would request the government to find a way of trying to support us in terms of computer or ICT, because I think, like I said earlier, that where we are heading, ICT or computer studies, the old is that.
Do you think a student who is from Kololo Senior Secondary School can compete relatively better with a student of another big school?
Yeah, because whatever we teach them here is what the other teachers also teach. So the only challenge is the numbers, but we are trying our best to make sure that we put them at the same level. Yes.
What do you think government can do about the numbers? Because yes, the facility is a little bit lacking, but how best can we handle the numbers?
The numbers wouldn't be a challenge if government came in to provide more facilities, more laboratories, more staff.
More staff.
Yeah, this is still a challenge. The teacher-to-student ratio is still overwhelming. So if government took it up and tried to intervene in that aspect, at least possibly it would help.
All right. Director of Studies, your biggest challenge you faced, and what can we do about it?
Our biggest challenge here are the big numbers.
Yep.
And yet it's a government-aided school, but our teachers are not enough. We have 67 teachers on payroll, yet we have more than 4,000 students. So the teacher-student ratio may find that it's a challenge, still a challenge. Yeah. And we also need more scholastic materials, more classrooms. Yes.
Okay. Well, Mala, there you have it. The biggest challenge you're actually finding here, what I'm getting is that the numbers are actually overwhelming, and the teachers, the ratio between the teacher and the student is equally overwhelming. So if we could have more teachers actually teaching and we have more facilities at the institution, possibly the student from Kololo Senior Secondary School could compete favorably with another student from an international school. If these are actually fixed, then with regards to the IT facilities, we need more computers, we need more laboratories, we need more hub that students from here can actually compete well. And what amuses me is that the school fees here is very affordable. It's very, very affordable. So that's what I can collect from the ground. Back to you, Tumala.
So much, Andrew Chamagara from Kololo SS right there. Like we said, the senior 4 candidates are going to sit in for their practicals in the next 5 minutes or so. They'll be getting in for their examinations. This year, we have over 740 registered candidates for this particular examinations, and we have 3,658 examination centers across the country. These examinations are started today, and they're going to stretch over to November the 16th this particular year. So from NTV Uganda, we truly wish you all students all the best. Like we said, we will try and forge to just give the government realities on the ground on what exactly you are facing, but we wish you all the best. So that has been it for Kickstarter segment for Morning at 10 TV. Be sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place from 6:30 all the way to 9 a.m. Have a blessed day.